She will never respect you if you do these 5 things. Imagine standing in your full power, fully respected by those around you. Not because you demand it, but because you've earned it through the strength of your character. What if I told you that the way to true respect isn't through seeking validation from others, but through mastering yourself? In a world full of distractions and noise, the path to respect, happiness, and inner peace begins within. Today we're going to explore 5 essential principles that will transform how you lead your life, how you interact with others, and how you finally command the respect you deserve. Stay with me. Number 1. Don't fiend for respect. In our pursuit of happiness and fulfillment, one of the greatest obstacles we face is the temptation to seek respect from others, to constantly strive for external validation. We live in a world that constantly tells us to prove ourselves, to be seen, to be admired. But true respect isn't something you can demand, and it certainly isn't something you should fiend for. Ask yourself this: when was the last time you did something simply for the sake of earning someone's approval? Did it bring you peace? Did it make you happier? Or did it leave you feeling drained, less than, and uncertain of your worth? The truth is, when we chase respect, we give away our power. The desperate need for validation from others can undermine our self-esteem and lead us away from our path to happiness. Respect isn't a currency that you can buy with flattery or force. It is something that is earned through the consistency of your actions, the integrity of your words, and the strength of your character. It is a natural consequence of living authentically and doing what is right, even when no one is watching. And here's the key: respect flows toward those who are strong enough to walk their own path, independent of external opinion. When you constantly seek respect, you're telling the world that your worth is dependent on others' perceptions. This, my friends, is a dangerous game. You will never be happy if you let your self-worth hinge on the approval of others. The more you fiend for it, the more elusive it becomes. People can sense desperation, and when they do, they are less likely to respect you, because what you're asking for is not genuine, it's not authentic. Instead, cultivate an internal sense of respect. Ask yourself this: am I living in alignment with my values? Am I acting with integrity? Am I the person I admire most in this world? When you show up as your true self, unapologetically and with purpose, respect naturally follows. This is the foundation of true happiness. Knowing that you are worthy of respect because you live with integrity, you stand for something, and you are secure in who you are. Too often we become distracted by the opinions of others. We let the noise of social media, fleeting praise, and momentary accolades become the measure of our worth. But deep inside, you know that true happiness isn't found in chasing the fleeting approval of others. It is found in the quiet confidence that comes from within, in knowing that you are enough just as you are. To live a life full of happiness, you must stop seeking external validation. Stop begging for respect and start earning it by becoming the person you respect most. When you stop seeking approval, you open yourself up to a deeper, more fulfilling connection with yourself and the world around you. This shift from seeking external validation to cultivating internal self-respect is where true happiness begins. It is where your confidence will flourish and respect will follow naturally, without force, without fear, and without the need to fiend for it. So take a moment and reflect on how much of your energy has been spent chasing respect. Instead, redirect that energy inward. Focus on your personal growth, your integrity, and the values that truly matter to you. When you stop trying to please others, you will find that respect and happiness will come to you naturally. Number 2, self-control. In our fast-paced, chaotic world, one of the most powerful traits a person can cultivate is self-control. It's the foundation of both personal growth and lasting happiness. And yet, how often do we find ourselves reacting impulsively, angry when cut off in traffic, upset when things don't go as planned, frustrated when things don't meet our expectations. It's all too easy to give in to these impulses. But true strength comes from the ability to control our reactions and emotion. Let's pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. How much of your life has been shaped by your responses to external events? How many times have you let a fleeting emotion, an outburst of anger, or a moment of frustration steal your peace and happiness? If your emotional state can be easily manipulated by external circumstances, you're handing over control of your happiness to forces outside of yourself. True happiness, real inner peace, comes from within, not from how others behave or how life unfolds. Self-control isn't about suppressing emotions or pretending you don't feel. It's about having the ability to choose how you respond. It's about pausing before reacting and taking responsibility for your emotions. It's about seeing the bigger picture and understanding that your emotional state doesn't need to be determined by the events happening around you. You have the power to control your reactions, to rise above the moment, and to decide how you will respond with grace, composure, and intelligence. Think about the last time you got into a heated argument or acted out of anger. Did it make you feel better in the long run? Did it bring you closer to the goal of happiness or peace? More likely, it left you feeling drained, unsettled, and frustrated. That's because giving in to anger or impatience only fuels more negativity. Reacting impulsively makes you vulnerable to external forces, which will inevitably pull you further away from your own happiness. But imagine the opposite. Imagine being in control of yourself. When life throws challenges your way, when someone insults you, when things don't go your way, what if you responded with calmness? What if you took a deep breath, grounded yourself in your values, and responded with measured thought rather than emotional reaction? This is self-control in action, and this is how you regain the power to create your own happiness, unaffected by the chaos around you. The secret to happiness lies in our ability to master ourselves. It's not the world or other people that dictate your happiness. It's how you choose to navigate through the ups and downs of life. When you control your emotions, you protect your inner peace. You stop giving away your power to people and situations that don't matter. You become the captain of your own ship, able to steer it through any storm with confidence, wisdom, and grace. Self-control also means respecting yourself enough to pause before making decisions. It means resisting the urge to act impulsively, whether that's overindulging in food, spending money recklessly, or reacting to people who provoke you. It means having the patience to allow time for reflection and making choices that align with your long-term happiness, not just the immediate gratification of the moment. When you cultivate self-control, you begin to experience life in a new way. You become less reactive, less driven by the highs and lows of emotion. You create a solid foundation for yourself, where happiness isn't a fleeting response to external conditions, but a state of mind that's within your control. The more you practice self-control, the more natural it becomes, and the more resilient you become in the face of challenges. True happiness isn't about avoiding life's challenges. It's about how you meet them. It's about having the emotional strength and discipline to rise above the temporary, to stay calm and composed, and to choose peace over chaos. Self-control is the key to unlocking a life full of happiness, one that's determined by your choices, not by external forces. Number 3, be a leader and make decisions. There's something deeply empowering about being the one who makes the decisions. In a world where so many people are waiting for someone else to take charge, to make the tough calls, true strength comes from stepping up and leading your own life. Leadership isn't about commanding others. It's about taking responsibility for your own choices, being decisive and navigating your own path. This is where happiness, control, and fulfillment begin. Ask yourself, How often do you allow fear, doubt, or the opinions of others to dictate your choices? Too many of us let external factors guide our lives, whether it's following the expectations of family, society, or even the trends around us. But real power comes from leading yourself. When you take ownership of your decisions and actions, you're no longer a passive observer of your life, but an active participant in shaping your future. Leadership starts within. It begins with having the courage to make decisions, big or small, that align with your values and long-term happiness. It's about stepping away from the fear of making mistakes and embracing the knowledge that every decision you make is an opportunity for growth. By deciding for yourself, you create a life that's uniquely yours, one that reflects your ambitions, your dreams, and your vision for the future. Many people avoid making decisions because they fear failure or criticism. The truth is, inaction is often the biggest failure of all. When you fail to make decisions, you remain stagnant, trapped in the comfort of indecision. You may avoid the discomfort of making mistakes, but in doing so you miss out on the chance to grow, learn, and ultimately live a more fulfilling life. Think about the times when you've truly felt empowered. It was likely when you made a clear decision, whether it was in your career, your relationships, or even your personal goals, and took action. In those moments, you stepped into your power. You didn't wait for permission or for the perfect conditions to arrive. You made a choice, and you committed to it. That's leadership in its purest form. Being a leader also means being accountable for the outcomes of your decisions. We often look for excuses or someone to blame when things don't go our way, but true leaders understand that mistakes are part of the journey. Instead of avoiding responsibility, they take ownership and use setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth. This mindset is key to creating a life of happiness and fulfillment. Decisions don't just shape the outcomes of our lives, they shape who we become. Every choice you make either brings you closer to the person you want to be or pushes you further away from it. The more you embrace your ability to decide, the more you grow into the person you were meant to be, wisely, strong, and self-assured. Leadership isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about being courageous enough to move forward, even when the road ahead is unclear. It's about trusting yourself, believing in your ability to navigate life's uncertainties, and having the resilience to stay the course. By leading yourself, you pave the way for a life of greater happiness, because you stop waiting for circumstances to change and start taking action that aligns with your values. When you make decisions with clarity and confidence, you regain control over your life. You stop feeling like life is happening to you, and you start making life happen for you. This empowerment will bring you peace, satisfaction, and the unshakable sense that you are the author of your own story. Be the leader of your own life. Decide where you want to go, and then take the steps necessary to get there. When you do, you'll find that happiness isn't something that happens to you, it's something you create. Number 4, be honest. There's something truly liberating about honesty. The simple act of being truthful, both with yourself and others, creates a life that is clear, purposeful, and fulfilling. Many of us struggle with honesty, thinking it's easier to tell small lies or avoid certain truths to keep the peace or protect our image. But here's the reality. Dishonesty, even in small doses, erodes our peace of mind, stunts our growth, and prevents us from living a life filled with authentic happiness. Imagine a life where you no longer have to remember what lies you've told or worry about being found out. A life where every word you speak and every action you take is aligned with who you truly are. Doesn't that sound peaceful? True happiness isn't possible when you're living in the shadows of deception, constantly trying to maintain a facade. It's in the light of honesty that you find freedom. Honesty is a cornerstone of strong relationships, whether they're with your partner, friends, family, or colleagues. Think about the relationships in your life where you feel truly connected and supported. More often than not, these are the relationships where trust, truth, and openness are the foundation. When you're honest, you allow others to see you for who you truly are, not for who you think they want you to be. This authenticity fosters deep connections, mutual respect, and ultimately, happiness. But let's talk about honesty with yourself. This is where the real transformation begins. Self-honesty means acknowledging your true feelings, desires, and fears. It means facing the truth about where you are in your life and being willing to take responsibility for the choices that have brought you here. This type of honesty isn't always easy. It requires courage to look at your life without the lens of denial or excuses. But when you can face the truth about yourself, your strengths and weaknesses, your successes and failures, you unlock the ability to change, grow, and move toward the life you truly desire. Honesty with yourself also means being clear about your goals and priorities. Too often we settle into routines that don't truly serve us because we're afraid of making changes or confronting the hard truths. We may want to live a healthier life, pursue a new career, or improve our relationships, but we convince ourselves that it's too late or too difficult. Being honest with yourself means acknowledging what you truly want and having the courage to pursue it. It's about taking ownership of your desires and refusing to let fear, doubt, or complacency hold you back from creating the life you've always dreamed of. In relationships, honesty fosters respect and trust. When you are truthful with others, you not only set a standard for how you expect to be treated, but you also encourage the same level of honesty from them. This creates a dynamic of mutual understanding and transparency. On the other hand, when you lie or withhold the truth, it introduces tension and doubt. The more you lie, the more you distance yourself from genuine connections, and the more you lose your own sense of inner peace. Let's face it, lies, big or small, take a toll on your mental and emotional well-being. The stress of keeping up with dishonesty, the fear of getting caught, and the internal conflict it creates can lead to anxiety and unhappiness. When you embrace honesty, you free yourself from these burdens. You create a space for peace, clarity, and personal growth. Living with honesty is a form of self-respect. It means you no longer need to rely on deception or manipulation to feel accepted or valued. Instead, you embrace who you truly are and live according to your values. This is where true happiness lies, not in pretending to be someone you're not, but in accepting yourself and the world around you as they are, while working towards becoming the best version of yourself. Honesty doesn't just enhance your relationships or personal growth, it deepens your sense of fulfillment. When you live in alignment with your truth, you become a magnet for the kind of love, respect, and success that are grounded in authenticity. And that, above all, is the foundation of lasting happiness. Number 5, respect yourself, don't avoid conflict. One of the most powerful ways to command respect from others is by respecting yourself first. Self-respect is the foundation of a fulfilling, authentic life. It's the inner strength that allows you to stand tall, set boundaries, and navigate the challenges of life with confidence. When you respect yourself, you stop tolerating behavior from others that diminishes your worth. You refuse to shrink in the face of conflict, because you know that your voice, your values, and your needs are just as important as anyone else's. In our fast-paced, often chaotic world, many of us are taught to avoid conflict at all costs. The idea of keeping the peace and staying out of confrontations is often seen as virtuous, but in reality, this avoidance can rob you of the very happiness and self-respect you deserve. Conflicts are not inherently bad. In fact, they can be a catalyst for growth and change. When handled with wisdom and integrity, conflicts provide an opportunity to define your values, stand firm in your beliefs, and teach others how to treat you. When you avoid conflict, you're essentially allowing others to dictate how you feel, what you tolerate, and what you believe. This can lead to resentment, frustration, and a sense of powerlessness. If you never speak up when something is wrong, if you consistently put the needs of others before your own, you are slowly eroding your self-worth. Over time, this disconnection from your true self creates a lack of fulfillment. Without standing up for yourself, you are giving away your personal power. And without that, how can you truly be happy? It's essential to recognize that conflict is a natural part of life, and avoiding it won't bring lasting peace. In fact, it often leads to even more tension. True peace comes from confronting and resolving conflicts in a way that is aligned with your values. By addressing issues directly, with honesty and clarity, you show yourself and others that you value yourself too much to let unresolved issues fester and harm your peace of mind. There is incredible strength in being able to stand up for what you believe in, even when it's uncomfortable. When you respect yourself, you don't shy away from necessary conversations or hard decisions. You understand that conflict is a natural part of relationships and growth. Instead of avoiding these moments, you meet them head-on with the confidence that you have something valuable to say. You create a space where your voice is heard, your boundaries are respected, and your needs are met. This doesn't mean being aggressive or confrontational for the sake of it. Respecting yourself in conflict means being calm, assertive, and maintaining your integrity. It means understanding that while you can't control others' actions, you do have control over how you respond. It's about finding the courage to engage in tough conversations with clarity and respect, and knowing that standing your ground will bring you closer to the life you desire. When you choose not to avoid conflict, you stop pretending everything is okay when it's not. You acknowledge your feelings, confront the challenges head-on, and act from a place of self-respect. It's through these moments of standing firm that you begin to see the world shift in your favor. By handling conflicts with maturity, grace, and honesty, you will command respect, not through force, but through the strength of your character. Respecting yourself and confronting conflict in a healthy way is the path to true happiness. It's the key to freeing yourself from the cycle of self-doubt and frustration. By honoring yourself and speaking up for what you believe, you build a life that is rooted in authenticity, strength, and peace of mind. It's through this commitment to self-respect that you create a future where happiness, fulfillment, and respect flow freely in all areas of your life. The key to earning respect and living a life of happiness lies in cultivating self-awareness, integrity, and emotional strength. By respecting yourself, staying true to your values, confronting conflicts with confidence, and leading by example, you create a life where you command respect naturally. Remember, happiness comes from within and is rooted in how you choose to respond to the world around you. Embrace your power, make wise decisions, and always stay true to your principles. Thank you for your time, and I wish you all the best on your journey toward wisdom, respect, and lasting happiness.